They said her face could drive a man mad, not because it was ugly, but because it was never seen. In Oduro village, no one spoke loudly about the veiled woman. She was a mystery wrapped in white cloth and silence. She walked through the village like a ghost, graceful, calm, untouched by the world around her. No one knew where she came from. One day, her small hut appeared at the edge of the forest. By morning, she was part of the village, yet never truly among them. She never showed her face, not once, not to the market women, not to the curious children, not even to the old priest who offered blessings every morning. Always covered, always distant. But they all felt it, her beauty, her presence. Some men dreamt of her, others feared her. The elders said, "Leave her alone, some things are better left unknown." Still, whispers grew. Some said she was a spirit. Others believed she ran from a past soaked in blood. No one dared to get close. Until one day, the richest bachelor in Oduro, Obinna, said 5 words that made the whole village freeze. "I want to marry her." Obinna was not just rich, he was respected. The owner of large farmlands, palm oil presses, and herds of cattle. He could have any woman he wanted. Mothers smiled at him. Fathers offered their daughters. Girls dreamed of becoming his wife. But Obinna didn't want any of them. He wanted her, the veiled woman. "I will marry her again," he said at the village square, loud and proud. The elders looked at one another. The villagers gasped. Even the birds seemed to pause in the trees. "But you don't know her," someone whispered. "I don't need to," Obinna replied. "I have seen how she moves. I have heard her voice. That is enough." People tried to stop him. His mother begged, "My son, please, pick someone we know. Not that one. She carries shadows with her." Obinna laughed. "She is not a shadow. She is my future wife." He walked to her hut the next morning with gifts: yam, kola nut, bold earrings, and white cloth. The village held its breath. She opened the door slowly, still wearing her veil. She looked at him for a long moment, then said only one word: "Yes." And from that day, strange things began to happen in Oduro. After Obinna announced the engagement, the village changed, not slowly but suddenly. That same night, 3 goats disappeared from Mama Ugo's pen. No footprints, no struggle, just silence and an empty rope. The next morning, little Chidi ran through the village screaming, "She came into my dream! She was floating!" Everyone knew who she was. By the end of the week, 5 people said they couldn't sleep. "Dark figures walk around my bed," one man said, eyes shaking. "They whisper things I can't understand." The elders gathered under the iroko tree, faces tight, voices low. "This is the same way it started years ago," Elder Nwoke muttered. "What started?" asked the younger man. No one answered. Obinna didn't care. They are just stories. Old people fear everything. But deep inside, even he began to feel it. Cold winds blowing at night, his shadow moving when he stood still. A strange owl that perched outside his window and stared all night. Still, the wedding day came closer. The village priest tried once more. "My son, traditions matter. A bride must be known. Let her lift her veil before the wedding." Obinna shook his head. "I will wait till our wedding night." And the priest, with trembling hands, marked the sign on his forehead and whispered, "Then may your eyes be ready." The day of the betrothal was filled with joy.
The village decorated the square with colorful fabrics and bright flowers. Children danced and drums beat a steady rhythm. But beneath the laughter, whispers swirled like smoke. Adaoma, the veiled bride, sat quietly beside Obinna. Her eyes were calm, but there was a strange light in them. Neither fear nor happiness, just something unreadable. The villagers watched her closely, waiting for a sign. Would she reveal herself? Would the veil slip? No one knew. That evening, Obinna stood proudly, wearing his best clothes. "Tonight, I will marry the woman I love," he told the crowd. But as the sun set, the air grew thick. Birds stopped singing. A chilling breeze swept through the village square. Elder Nwoke whispered to the priest, "The veil hides more than her face." Suddenly, from the edge of the forest came a low, haunting howl. It wasn't a wolf or any animal they knew. The crowd fell silent. Obinna smiled bravely, but inside, a knot tightened in his chest. The veil had not come off, but the curse was already at their doorstep.
The days after the betrothal grew darker. Animals vanished without a trace. Chickens, goats, even dogs. The villagers whispered of evil, fear wrapping tight around their hearts. At night, dreams turned into nightmares. People woke screaming, soaked in sweat. They saw shadowy figures lurking just beyond the firelight, whispering secrets no one dared to share. Obinna tried to stay strong, but the strange feeling in his home grew worse. Doors creaked open on their own. Cold hands seemed to brush his face in the dark. The owl from the forest never left his window. One evening, Adaoma stood outside her hut, her veil still on, staring into the dark woods. Obinna approached, but she didn't turn. "My love," he said softly, "what are you hiding?" She lifted her veil just a little, just enough to show eyes that shone like burning coals. Obinna stepped back, heart pounding. "Do not fear," she whispered. "I carry a power older than this village, but it comes with a price." The villagers watched from afar, trembling. What price, and what was the secret behind the veil? The whole village waited with bated breath. Tonight was the night Adaoma would remove her veil. The air was thick with fear and hope. Obinna stood beside her in the small chapel, surrounded by flickering candles. The elders watched silently, eyes full of warnings. Adaoma's hands trembled slightly as she reached up. Slowly, the veil slipped away, revealing a face both beautiful and strange. Her skin was pale like moonlight, but her eyes were deep black pools that seemed to pull at Obinna's soul. A soft, eerie glow surrounded her. The villagers gasped. Some stepped back in fear, others whispered prayers. Obinna's heart ached, but he held her hand tightly. "I am not just your bride," she said quietly. "I am bound to an ancient curse that has haunted my bloodline for centuries." She looked at the crowd. "The curse is real, but love can break it. If I am accepted, the darkness will fade." The village was silent. Would they accept her, or would fear rule their hearts? The villagers stared at Adeoma's face, their fear and doubt mixing with awe. Obinna stepped forward, holding her hand stronger than ever. "We choose love over fear," he said. "No curse can break what's true." Suddenly, the blackness in Adeoma's eyes began to fade. The eerie glow softened into warm light. The shadows in the village lifted like morning mist. The curse that had haunted her family for generations was breaking, not because of magic, but because of acceptance
and courage. Elder Nwoke spoke softly. Fear divides us. Love heals. From that night on, Adeoma walked the village without her veil. She was no longer a mystery but a symbol of hope, strength, and the power to face the unknown. The lesson of Oduro village spread far beyond its borders. Don't let fear hide the truth. Sometimes what we don't understand is simply waiting for love to set it free. I hope you enjoyed the tale. If so, please like the video, share it with your family and friends, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for more enchanting tales like this one. Thanks for watching.